Hello, it's Thursday, March 12th, 2020, 4 p.m. And I'm coming to you on this last video to clear up a couple things. So let's start off with the year 1670. Now, that particular year had no sunspots at all. And it's in the middle of what's called the Maunder minimum. And actually, there's three minimums that run from the year 1000 to 1850. And dark matter slams into the sun to release that weak energy, and that's how you come back and be reborn again. And it forms a sunspot. But I'm wondering why there's zero sunspots if it has to do with birth. And then I got to thinking, well, during that time there was a black plague and a lot of death in the Americas, a lot of wars. So the only people that were being born were stage zero. And then, of course, you had occasional stage one or stage two. And but when the population all of a sudden skyrockets like it has recently, you get a lot more of the 3366 people, the second chancers, I call them. But anyway, and to clarify the whole outer space thing, listen, the weak force, which is us, is not supposed to be in outer space. For one, I think it might cause a calamity. But for two, even if it doesn't, you're just waste. It's just waste, and God hates waste. You want to be able to be transformed into dark energy or dark matter. And then the third would be the pulsars. Now they create a dampening field because you do not want Earths talking to other Earths, for one, because most Earths are in different stages, and we go through the stages too. Like we're like the population's like an oscillating wave, goes up and down, up and down, but with a limit of 13 billion. So it wouldn't surprise me in 3 million years we're back up at 13 billion, and then we just keep doing that while the birds and insects get bigger, and there will be another ice age. Why? Because the ice age is one of the quickest ways to destroy some of the stuff that's built from the previous civilization. That's why when Snowball Earth happened 660 million years ago, I think we were around then. But we were definitely around during the Cambrian period at 500 million. And if I was God, I would have put humans on at 2.3 billion, called the Great Oxygenation Event, when the atmosphere was just flooded with oxygen. You could have created a little garden, and slowly that garden grew, and slowly the human population grew at that point. But obviously it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Now, the reason why you don't want other Earths talking to other Earths is because blue, which is a color for us, who knows what they're speaking there, because even though we all might think that the words come out the same, it's just air coming out of our mouth. So who knows what words mean to across the universe. And one final point, going to another multiverse. It's a one-way trip. Now, I wanted to thank God at this opportunity, because not only do I not have to look at myself, because I don't like looking at myself in the mirror, and this is quite annoying, looking at yourself while you're talking. I don't know how people actually do that. I got to look away. But I wouldn't have been here without God, because 19 years ago, I figured I've been living on borrowed time, and that God's been keeping me alive this entire time. That's why I'm so worried about tomorrow, even though tomorrow, if I wake up fine and dandy, it would just be another day for me, and I'll just keep plugging along with my book, because I was also even though I asked God to if I could die in my bed on my birthday, I was also told that I'd be shot in the eye. So I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know one thing. God doesn't want a quick transition. She doesn't. I refer to her as she because I talk to Andromeda a lot when I'm walking, and because I seen her in a dream, and I or she talked to me for a little bit. She don't want to wipe the planet like the dinosaurs. Why? Because you could possibly create, the 9 to 10 billion people that are on the planet right now into dark energy all at once. And starvation on top of that, nothing will drive a human being crazier than starving, especially a civilization that's used to eating now. Back in the day, like the Stone Age, they would go days without eating. Now, I'm sure that it's going to happen within the next 1 to 222 years, because I'm not ruling out the quick transition, but I think it's going to be a slow transition. I believe it's already started. There's 24.8 million autism people right now, so that I think the population is going to drop to, in the next 222 years, down to 25 million worldwide. And also, you would do it on a percentage, and it would make sense. And now that this virus has creeped up over the winter, I was compelled to, not compelled, but I knew I had to get this message out before my birthday, for one, but I knew something was coming, and the 222 years makes sense. It would make sense to knock you all off at 3% of a time. Please forgive me for passing along this message. I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. And I hope that you understand that I'm a human being just like you are, and that I can't save any of you. I thought I could during the summer, and I had to learn that lesson the hard way. You're on your own, because we all die alone. Y'all face Andromeda alone. Y'all had to process yourself, the antimatter version, because when a black hole is created, there's a positive and a negative one. And I think the positive one's the quick one that runs and you run back to Earth, while the negative one gets forced out because you can manipulate gravity, and and plus it can't find you anymore. When you're in that magnetic shield, you're protected from antimatter, and then boom. But that's just a theory. This is all just a theory. This could all be in my head for all I know. But I don't think so. Not at all. I think a lot of you are thinking that something is bound to happen. We cannot continue this. Even though the CO2 levels aren't as high as even when the dinosaurs were walking, I don't think it has anything to do with CO2. I just think because the sun being 30% brighter, that dark matter, when you have tons of babies, the photosphere is 6,000 Kelvin, where the corona is 1 to 2 million. And the scientists can't figure out why the planet's warming up, even though the sun is diminishing. It's not as bright. Well, because you're transferring all that dark matter into energy, and that energy warms up the corona, which warms up the planet. So, but we all have free will, and good luck to you. I love all of you. Take care.